One time in my life, this happened multiple times, multiple signs in my life. One time in my life, I was doing very well, and I fell into deep depression. I was making a lot of money, but I fell into deep depression because I couldn't find my purpose. That's 9 years ago when I started my charity out in Kenya. When we started helping the kids, I felt like I found my purpose. I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Right? It was the best thing ever. Then I started sharing these quotes, right? And I always keep saying, giving is living, giving is living. Life is all about giving. That's the purpose of life. I found it now. Everybody needs to give, 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 give. I was going on this crazy, crazy thing on giving, right? And that was my life. And then what happened was, I was out on a business trip out in China. And one of the days we went into a temple, and then we seen a Buddhist monk. So I sat next to him and we just had a chat. So when we're having this chat, I felt totally awake at that time. I was kind of like, you know what, I got it. I understand life. So I said to this monk, I sat down, and I kind of knew the answer. I just wanted confirmation from the other person. How many of you know what I'm talking about when you do that? You know what you know it, but you kind of just want to please reconfirm what I know, right? So I kind of just sat there, and I said to this Buddhist monk, and I said, I got a question for you. Right? How do you see the purpose in life? Right? What do you think the purpose in life is, right? And obviously, in my mind, I knew the answer, right? I figured it out. I've got a charity. I get it. It's giving, right? It's serving. That's purpose. So I was like, what do you think the purpose of life is? Then he said to me, he said, what's your understanding of purpose of life? I trust the master to do that. I was like, well, it's about contribution. It's about giving. You know, I'm living the time of my life right now, and I figured this out, and it's so powerful. It's about giving. Then the Buddhist monk was like, okay. So, young man, your journey will be now is very high. And I said, yeah, it's really high. He said, yeah, it's really high. He said, so next it will go down a little bit, then it will balance out. I was sitting there, I was like in shock. I was like, these Buddhist monks, are they not supposed to make us feel better? Why did you just say that about me, you know? I finally figured out my purpose in life, and now you tell me I got it all wrong, and you tell me that I'm going to go through depression again? You know, it's like, what are you saying? I just walked away. I kind of ignored it, because I was kind of, you know that I had a closed mind back then. I was kind of like, I got it, you know? I don't know what you're talking about, right? That's your life. You're in depression. I'm super pumped right now. I'm really happy, right? So I go away. 2 years later, it took me several years to understand this, you know? 2 years later, I'm in Bali for my first yoga session, learning yoga, right? And I'm learning from this yoga master there. And then what happens is I sit there for the first time and I'm asking him questions and he's teaching me all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. This was when I was a speaker already. Then I said to him, I said, I got an event in London in a few weeks' time. Can you speak at our event? Because literally, like, this is going to be so amazing for our people, right? And he says, no. And I said, what? I said, what? This is so good, though. It's life-changing. I said, it'll be so amazing. I said, we'll pay for your flights, your accommodation. We'll pay for everything. You know, you don't need to pay anything. He said, no. I don't need to. I said, what do you mean you don't need to? I said, like, this stuff can change lives. He said, well, that's okay, but I don't need to change lives. And I said to him, but you're changing my life right now, right? Then he said to me, he said, you came to me. I was like, what is wrong with these spiritual people? You know, it's kind of like, what do they not get? Go and change some lives with me. Come on, let's go, right? And imagine this, right? Another year passes by. Literally 4 years of trying to figure out what is sign. It's almost like universe is like telling you, then telling you, then telling you, and I'm just like, I don't get it, right? And I'm in this personal development journey. I'm helping more people. And I realized one thing. I realized that a lot of students used to frustrate me. Let me tell you what students they were. They were the non-action takers. They were the people who say, yeah, I want a better life, and then I give them all the tools, then they won't do anything about it. They used to frustrate me. And I used to talk about, I found my purpose, spiritual purpose, and everything. I'm awoke. And then what happened was, I come to one realization later on. When I met another friend of mine who said to me, why are you so attached to helping people? For some reason, every piece of the jigsaw just came to me at once, and I was like, man, that Buddhist monk, that yogi, that just everything just came to me at once. And I was like, I don't know. He says, you look tired. And I said, I think I am tired. He said, well, why do you not just let go and take it easy, flow? You always talk about living your purpose, but right now you look like you're upset by your purpose. He said, what is your purpose? I said, my purpose is contribution. I told you. He said, yeah, but you look pissed off by your purpose right now. I said, you know what? I'm going to take some time out. I went out to Kenya. I was giving. Right? And I found one thing. There was one time, there was this lady called Mary, and her dying baby was there, dying of malaria. Right? I was so trying to help, but I no longer had, I couldn't help them all. And I watched the baby die right in front of me. And when I watched the baby die right in front of me, I was so upset, I was so frustrated with myself. I was thinking, you think you're some superhero, you think you can change the world, you think you contribution, living purpose, teaching other people how to live their lives. Look what you just did. You just let this baby die right in front of you. And I just sat there for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I was thinking about this. And I said, you know what? I came to this understanding. I said, one thing is like this, right? In life, we will come across a lot of people that we want to help, that there is just no way we can help in that moment. How many of you know what I'm talking about when I say that? How many of you you've gone through this awakening journey, you've gone through this personal development journey, and you know some people, you try to talk sense to them, but they just don't get it. How many of you know what I'm talking about, right? Because there's this saying that says, when the student is ready, the master appears. You see, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You cannot force something to happen. And if by the time you're forcing something to, how many of you have tried to change somebody to become more positive? As a result of that, you became negative. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Be honest here, right? In the process of trying to make somebody positive, you became negative. Is that not a problem? Because once you start understanding contribution, yet is the same time still not the main goal. It's still not the main goal. Because then you start understanding the higher thing, higher level of consciousness of being. Being. What does that mean? We do what we can, but we're not attached to anything. There is no need. It's purposelessness. We work, we do, we receive in abundance, we keep going, we keep moving up, because if we're not going, we're dying, so we keep moving. Yet at the same time, we're attached to nothing. And we allow. That energy of allowing. Once you don't try to force things and you allow, guess what? Energy flow nicely in, energy flow nicely out. Everything recycles. Is the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing ever. At that, when you come to acceptance, this is a big thing. When it comes to being, the key word there is acceptance. When you come to acceptance, everything as is. As ising. So when we come to acceptance, guess what? Through being, you start understanding purpose. What is the actual purpose in life? The purpose in life is to experience as much as you can without any attachment. Be in a blissful state as much as you can. Become the best version of yourself. Become that container. Become that powerhouse. Become that representation of love, of kindness, of compassion. That's capable, that has the tools, that has the skill sets. Then you have the ability to change the world without putting yourself into misery. Do you get what I'm saying? How many of you know what I'm saying here? Right? Everyone take a deep breath in and slow exhale. Go, 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 go ahead, go.